Sophia Bennett's grand gala was meant to showcase her power. But a single act of cruelty threatens to unravel everything. Discover the story of ambition, regret, and redemption. Drop a comment and share where you're joining us from. If stories like this resonate with you, hit subscribe so you don't miss our next inspiring journey. Sophia Bennett was the undisputed queen of her world, wealthy, stunning, and perpetually indulged. Her family's name was emblazoned across the city skyline, and every one of her desires was met without question. Yet, beneath her flawless exterior lurked a festering envy and a deep-seated insecurity, emotions she expertly concealed with a veneer of cruelty. Mia, her gentle and soft-spoken maid, inadvertently became the target of Sophia's hidden bitterness. It was just days before Sophia's grand birthday gala, set to be held at the opulent Luminary Hotel. Amid the sparkling chandeliers and richly draped halls, Sophia meticulously crafted her plan. "Lily," she drawled to her personal assistant, her voice dripping with feigned sweetness. "Find Mia something memorable to wear. Make sure it's unforgettable, just not in a good way." Lily hesitated for a moment, sensing the underlying malice in Sophia's request, but nodded obediently. She knew better than to challenge Sophia's orders. Sophia's smirk widened as she envisioned Mia awkwardly navigating the gilded ballroom, her dignity stripped away under the weight of Sophia's calculated humiliation. The following morning, the bustling staff of the Bennett household prepared for the evening's festivities. Sophia, impeccably dressed in a designer gown that shimmered under the morning light, reviewed the final touches with her team. Her confidence was unshakable, masking the turmoil that bubbled beneath her composed exterior. As the day progressed, Lily presented Sophia with the dress she had chosen for Mia. It was a garish shade of lime green, with seams that strained at the fabric and rhinestones that glittered cheaply in the dim light of the preparation room. Sophia examined the dress with a critical eye, her fingers tracing the ill-fitting seams before nodding with approval. "Perfect," Sophia declared, her voice cold and calculated. "Ensure Mia wears it tonight. I want everyone to see just how out of place she really is." Lily exchanged a worried glance with another staff member, but remained silent, understanding the futility of questioning Sophia's commands. As evening descended, the grand ballroom of the Luminary Hotel transformed into a sea of elegance and sophistication. Guests arrived in their finest attire, their laughter and chatter filling the air with an air of anticipation. Sophia moved gracefully through the crowd, her presence commanding attention and admiration. Meanwhile, Mia stood nervously in the fitting room, staring at her reflection in the mirror. The lime green dress hung awkwardly on her frame, the tight seams causing discomfort and self-consciousness. She adjusted the rhinestones clinging to her dress, trying to muster the courage to face the grand gala. When the moment arrived, Sophia intercepted Mia at the entrance to the ballroom, her arm looping tightly around Mia's shoulder. "Everyone, meet Mia," Sophia announced loudly, her voice carrying across the room. "Isn't she just radiant tonight?" The room erupted in soft laughter and pointed glances as Mia stepped forward, her face flushing with embarrassment. She managed a quiet smile, hoping to diffuse the tension with grace. As the night unfolded, guests approached Mia with smirking faces and snide remarks. "Tell me, Mia, do you think AI will replace maids someday?" one guest mocked. Mia maintained her composure, responding with a gentle smile. "Perhaps. But I'd hope they program the robots not to spill the soup." Despite the discomfort, Mia's kindness and humility began to shift the atmosphere. The initial cruelty of Sophia's prank started to sour, leaving a lingering tension in the air. Back in the midst of the festivities, Sophia watched the interactions with a mix of satisfaction and uncertainty. Her plan had worked. But a small, nagging doubt began to creep into her mind, threatening to unravel the tightly woven facade she had so carefully constructed. As the evening progressed, the weight of her actions began to settle in, leaving Sophia to ponder the true cost of her envy and the path she had chosen to mask her insecurities. The night of the gala finally arrived, and the Luminary Hotel was buzzing with excitement. The grand ballroom was decked out with sparkling chandeliers and elegant decorations. Guests in their finest outfits filled the room, chatting and laughing as they awaited the evening's festivities. Mia stood nervously by the entrance, feeling the weight of everyone's eyes on her. Her dress was a bright lime green, far too flashy and not at all flattering. The seams felt tight, and the cheap rhinestones sparkled awkwardly under the dim lights. She took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves before stepping into the spotlight. Just as Mia was about to make her way into the ballroom, Sophia appeared beside her. Sophia looked stunning in her deep blue gown, every bit the elegant hostess she was known to be. She put her arm around Mia's shoulder, pulling her closer. "Everyone, meet Mia. Isn't she just radiant tonight?" Sophia announced loudly, her voice echoing through the room. Mia felt her cheeks burn as a few chuckles and snickers rippled through the crowd. She forced a polite smile, hoping to ease the tension. "Thank you, Sophia," she replied softly, trying to hide her discomfort. Throughout the evening, guests approached Mia with smirks and teasing comments. "Wow, Mia, that's a bold choice of color," one guest remarked, barely hiding her amusement. Mia held her ground, responding with a calm smile. "It's definitely unique. I wanted something different." Another guest laughed. "Are you sure you didn't borrow that from a clown?" Mia's smile wavered for a split second, but she quickly recovered. "I thought it would stand out a bit more. Maybe I went a little overboard." Despite the awkward compliments, Mia remained composed. She engaged in conversations with kindness, refusing to let the mockery get to her. Her genuine demeanor began to change how some guests viewed her. Slowly, the initial laughter turned into respectful nods and sincere smiles. Meanwhile, Sophia watched the interactions with a mix of satisfaction and frustration. She had expected Mia to crumble under the spotlight, but instead, Mia handled everything with grace and dignity. It wasn't going as planned. As the night went on, Mia found herself having a pleasant conversation with an older gentleman named Mr. Thompson. "Your dress is certainly something else," he said with a warm smile. "But I admire your confidence." Mia smiled genuinely. "Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Confidence comes from within, I believe." Mr. Thompson nodded appreciatively. "Absolutely. Keep shining, Mia." Back in the center of the room, Sophia caught Paul, one of her acquaintances, watching Mia intently. "Interesting," Paul remarked quietly. "You really went all out with this prank, didn't you?" Sophia's smile faltered slightly. "I wanted to make sure everyone noticed Mia." Paul raised an eyebrow. "Sometimes, highlighting someone's flaws doesn't always have the desired effect." Sophia forced a laugh. "Oh, come on, Paul. It's just a bit of fun." But his words lingered in the air, making Sophia question her own actions. She had hoped to humiliate Mia and take some satisfaction from it. But instead, Mia's genuine kindness was turning the situation around. As midnight approached, the atmosphere in the ballroom began to shift. The initial amusement faded, replaced by a more respectful and admiring tone. Guests who had once laughed now looked at Mia with newfound appreciation. Mia decided it was time to take a break. She stepped outside onto the balcony, breathing in the cool night air. The city lights twinkled below, offering a moment of peace away from the chaos inside. Sophia joined her, her expression softening. "Mia, can we talk for a moment?" Mia turned to face her, curiosity piqued. "Of course." Sophia. Sophia took a deep breath, her eyes meeting Mia's. "I wanted tonight to be memorable, but I see now that it didn't turn out the way I expected." Mia nodded, sensing the sincerity in Sophia's voice. "Sometimes, unexpected things happen." Sophia looked down, her shoulders slumping slightly. "I thought I could make you feel small to feel better about myself. But seeing how you handled everything, I realize I was wrong." Mia reached out and placed a comforting hand on Sophia's arm. "It's okay. We all have our struggles. Maybe tonight was a chance for both of us to learn something." Sophia looked up, a hint of gratitude in her eyes. "Thank you, Mia. I appreciate your understanding." They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the city below. The tension from earlier had melted away, replaced by a quiet sense of mutual respect. As the night came to a close, guests began to leave with smiles and kind words. Mia felt a sense of accomplishment, not because she had endured the prank, but because she had stayed true to herself and handled the situation with grace. Back inside, Sophia watched Mia make her final rounds, offering genuine compliments and heartfelt conversations. For the first time, Sophia saw Mia not just as a target, but as someone worthy of respect and admiration. The ill-fitting dress had served its purpose in a way Sophia hadn't anticipated. Instead of diminishing Mia, it had revealed her inner strength and kindness, leaving a lasting impression on everyone who attended the gala. As the last of the guests departed, Sophia found herself alone in the empty ballroom. She reflected on the evening's events, realizing that true confidence comes from treating others with kindness rather than using them to mask one's own insecurities. With a newfound sense of humility, Sophia vowed to change her ways, starting with how she treated those around her. The prank had unintentionally set her on a path toward personal growth and redemption, proving that even the most ill-conceived plans can lead to unexpected and positive outcomes. After the hectic moments of the gala, Mia stepped away from the crowd and headed towards the restroom. She needed a moment to collect herself, her heart still racing from the evening's events. Inside the quiet restroom, she took deep breaths, trying to shake off the uncomfortable attention she had received. Meanwhile, Sophia Bennett stood in the middle of the grand ballroom, surrounded by admirers and guests congratulating her on the successful event. Laughter, clinking glasses, and the soft melodies of the piano filled the air. On the surface, everything seemed perfect, but Sophia couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. As Sophia adjusted her sapphire gown in the mirror, her eyes caught a glimpse of Mia's pale face walking out of the restroom. For a brief moment, Sophia felt a pang of guilt. She had planned the prank to make Mia feel embarrassed, but seeing Mia's genuine composure made her question her actions. Sophia took a deep breath and tried to push the feeling aside. "It's just a party," she whispered to herself. "Mia will get over it." But the seed of doubt had been planted. Throughout the evening, Sophia found herself replaying the moments when Mia handled the mockery with grace. The kindness and strength Mia displayed made Sophia wonder if she had gone too far. Later that night, as the last guests were leaving and the ballroom began to empty, Sophia remained alone, lost in her thoughts. She glanced around the now quiet room, the decorations still sparkling under the soft lighting. The initial satisfaction she felt from executing her plan was fading, replaced by a lingering unease. Sophia walked over to the grand piano, running her fingers lightly over the keys. The music seemed distant, almost melancholic. She couldn't ignore the nagging feeling that she had hurt someone who didn't deserve it. As she sat down at the piano, Sophia's mind wandered back to the conversations Mia had had with the guests. Instead of laughing at her expense, Mia had responded with kindness and humility. It was a stark contrast to the image Sophia had wanted to project. Maybe I did too much, Sophia thought, her voice barely audible. Maybe I should have just let things be. She sighed deeply, the weight of her actions pressing down on her. The grand ballroom, once a symbol of her status and control, now felt like a cage, trapping her in her own insecurities and envy. Sophia looked out the large windows, watching as the city lights twinkled in the distance. She realized that her need to feel superior had blinded her to the impact of her actions. The doubt was growing, making her question not just the prank, but her own character. With a heavy heart, Sophia made a silent vow to herself. She needed to change, to find a way to move past her envy and build genuine connections with those around her. It was time to let go of the facade and embrace a more honest and compassionate version of herself. As the night drew to a close, Sophia Bennett stood up from the piano, feeling a sense of clarity she hadn't felt in years. The flicker of doubt had ignited a spark of self-awareness, and she was determined to make things right. After the gala, Sophia Bennett felt a mix of satisfaction and unease. Mia had handled everything gracefully, and Sophia couldn't help but admire her resilience, even as a small voice inside her questioned her own actions. She tried to push those doubts aside, reminding herself that the prank had been just a bit of harmless fun. As the grand ballroom began to empty, Sophia lingered near the center, watching guests say their goodbyes and leave with polite smiles. The elegant decorations still sparkled under the soft lighting, but the lively energy had quieted down. She took a deep breath, trying to steady her thoughts. Just then, Paul Harper, one of Sophia's social rivals and a sharp observer, approached her. Paul was known for his straightforwardness and keen insight, making him both a respected and somewhat intimidating presence at social gatherings. "You know, Sophia," Paul began, leaning casually against the ornate fireplace, "cruelty isn't the same as confidence. What you're doing, it's not power. It's weakness." Sophia's smile froze. She forced herself to maintain her composure, masking the sting of his words with a tight-lipped smile. "Don't lecture me, Paul." Paul didn't back down. He looked her straight in the eye, his expression serious. "I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here to tell you that kindness and respect earn far more than fear and humiliation ever could." Sophia felt her cheeks flush, but she kept her voice steady. "I know what I'm doing," Paul sighed, shaking his head slightly. "It doesn't matter what you think. People can see through the facade. They see the insecurity behind your actions." The words hit Sophia harder than she expected. She took a step back, her confidence wavering. "You don't understand." "Maybe not," Paul replied gently. "But trust me, this isn't the way to gain true respect or admiration. You're better than this." Sophia looked around the empty ballroom, the echoes of laughter and music now silent in her mind. She realized Paul was right. Her actions had been driven by envy and a need to feel powerful, but it had only led to unnecessary pain. I just wanted things to be different," Sophia admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "I wanted to feel important." Paul nodded sympathetically. "We all want to feel valued. But tearing others down won't make you feel better. It just makes you feel empty inside." Sophia felt a lump form in her throat. She had never considered that her actions might be a reflection of her own insecurities. "What should I do?" she asked, her voice cracking slightly. Paul placed a hand on her shoulder, offering a reassuring squeeze. "Start by being honest with yourself. Apologize to Mia. Show her that you genuinely want to make things right." Sophia nodded slowly, the weight of her actions settling heavily on her shoulders. "You're right. I need to fix this." Paul gave her a small, encouraging smile. "It's never too late to change, Sophia. Taking that first step will make all the difference." As Paul walked away, Sophia stood alone in the quiet ballroom, reflecting on his words. She realized that true strength came from humility and kindness, not from making others feel small. With a deep breath, she made her way towards Mia, determined to apologize and start rebuilding the trust she had shattered. Finding Mia near the exit, Sophia took a moment to gather her courage. Mia looked up, her eyes meeting Sophia's with a mix of surprise and curiosity. "Sophia," she greeted softly. "Mia," Sophia began, her voice sincere. "I need to apologize. What I did tonight was wrong. I let my insecurities get the better of me, and I'm truly sorry." Mia studied her for a moment, seeing the genuine remorse in Sophia's eyes. "Thank you, Sophia. I appreciate your apology." Sophia felt a sense of relief wash over her. "I want to make things right. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know." Mia offered a small, understanding smile. "Let's start by moving forward, one step at a time." As they stood together in the now empty ballroom, Sophia felt a flicker of hope. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one where she could let go of her envy and embrace a more compassionate and genuine way of living. The confrontation with Paul had opened her eyes, and she was ready to take the first steps towards change. As the evening progressed, the grand ballroom of the Luminary Hotel continued to buzz with conversations and laughter. Guests mingled, enjoying the elegant decor and the soft melodies from the live band. Sophia Bennett stood near the center, still feeling the weight of Paul Harper's words. She tried to push the doubts aside, focusing on maintaining her composed facade. Just as the night seemed to settle into a comfortable rhythm, the grand double doors at the far end of the ballroom swung open. A hush fell over the room as everyone turned to see who had arrived. Standing in the doorway was Daniel Richards, the renowned investor and beloved philanthropist known for his generosity and warm personality. His presence alone commanded respect and admiration. Daniel walked confidently into the room, his tailored suit impeccable and his smile genuine. Instead of heading straight to Sophia, he made his way toward Mia, who was quietly talking to a few guests near the refreshments table. The shift in his attention immediately caught Sophia's eye, leaving her momentarily speechless. "Mia, it's so wonderful to finally meet you," Daniel greeted warmly, extending his hand with a friendly smile. Mia looked up, surprised but pleased by his approach. "Thank you, Mr. Richards. It's an honor to meet you." Daniel shook her hand firmly. "Please, call me Daniel. I've heard so much about your dedication and hard work. Your efforts have made a significant impact." The room seemed to hold its breath as Daniel turned to address the guests. "I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge Mia here. She may not wear the spotlight like some of us, but her contributions speak volumes. It's people like her who truly make a difference." Mia felt a flush of pride and gratitude as the guests nodded in agreement. Sophia watched in disbelief, her earlier insecurities resurfacing as she realized the depth of Mia's character and the respect she commanded without any of Sophia's manipulation. Daniel continued, "In a world where recognition often overshadows genuine kindness, it's important to remember that true impact comes from the heart. Mia embodies that spirit perfectly. Sophia felt a pang of regret. She had always seen Mia as just her maid, not recognizing the remarkable person she truly was. Watching Daniel speak so highly of Mia made Sophia reflect on her own actions and the way she had treated her. As Daniel finished his remarks, he approached Mia once more. "I hope we can collaborate on future projects. Your passion and integrity are exactly what we need to drive meaningful change." Mia smiled, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "I would be delighted." "Daniel, thank you for your kind words." Sophia remained standing by herself, the applause for Daniel's speech echoing in her ears. She realized that her attempt to belittle Mia had only highlighted her own shortcomings. The room, filled with influential and kind-hearted individuals, had witnessed Mia's true worth, leaving Sophia to confront the reality of her own actions. Daniel gave Sophia a polite nod before mingling with other guests, leaving her to process the evening's revelations. The arrival of Daniel Richards had not only honored Mia but had also served as a turning point for Sophia, forcing her to reevaluate her behavior and the impact it had on those around her. As the night drew to a close, Sophia found herself standing alone once more, the echoes of the evening lingering in the now quiet ballroom. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her own guilt and the need for change pressing heavily on her shoulders. With a newfound determination, Sophia decided that it was time to make amends. She approached Mia, who was now engaged in a pleasant conversation with Daniel, and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "Mia," Sophia began, her voice sincere, "I want to apologize again for tonight. I see now how wrong I was, and I truly want to make things right." Mia turned to face her, the kindness in her eyes unwavering. "Thank you, Sophia. That means a lot." Sophia nodded, feeling a sense of relief wash over her. "I hope we can start fresh and build a better relationship from here on out." Mia smiled warmly. "I believe we can, Sophia. It's never too late to change." As they stood together in the now empty ballroom, the weight of the evening's events settled between them. The arrival of Daniel Richards had not only honored Mia but had also sparked a moment of self-awareness and the possibility of redemption for Sophia. It was a night that neither of them would forget, marking the beginning of a new chapter filled with understanding and mutual respect. The grand ballroom of the Luminary Hotel was still buzzing with the remnants of the evening's festivities. Guests were mingling, sharing stories, and enjoying the last of the night's celebrations. Sophia Bennett stood near the center, feeling a mix of relief and lingering unease. Her apology to Mia had gone better than she expected, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something more significant was about to unfold. Just as the clock struck midnight, the grand doors opened once again. This time, it wasn't a guest arriving, but Daniel Richards, the renowned investor and philanthropist who was respected and admired by everyone in the room. His presence immediately drew attention, and the room fell silent in anticipation of his entrance. Daniel walked gracefully into the ballroom, his eyes scanning the crowd until they landed on Mia. Instead of heading straight to Sophia, he made his way towards Mia, a warm smile on his face. The guests watched curiously as he approached her. "Mia," Daniel greeted, extending his hand. "It's wonderful to finally meet you." Mia shook his hand politely, feeling a bit nervous under the spotlight. "Thank you, Mr. Richards. It's an honor to meet you." Daniel nodded appreciatively. "Please, call me Daniel. I've heard so much about your dedication and hard work. Your efforts have truly made a difference." As Mia listened, Daniel turned to address the entire room. "I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge someone very special tonight. Many of you may not know this, but Mia here is the unknown angel. For years, She has quietly supported countless charities and initiatives, making a significant impact without ever seeking recognition. Gasps and whispers spread through the crowd. Sophia felt her face flush with embarrassment as she realized the depth of Mia's contributions. Mia looked down, a mixture of pride and humility in her eyes. Daniel continued. In a world where recognition often overshadows genuine kindness, Mia embodies what it truly means to give without expecting anything in return. Her dedication has transformed many lives, and she deserves all the praise tonight. Mia stood tall, her confidence growing with each word. I used to work in the corporate world, but I found that I wanted to make a difference in a more meaningful way. Helping others gives me purpose and fulfillment. The room erupted in applause, and many guests nodded in agreement. Their earlier mockery now replaced with admiration. Sophia watched in awe, realizing how wrong she had been to underestimate Mia. The kindness and strength Mia had shown throughout the evening had earned her the respect she truly deserved. As the applause died down, Daniel approached Sophia. Sophia, you've done a wonderful job tonight. But it's people like Mia who remind us of the true spirit of giving and compassion. Sophia looked down, her earlier anger replaced by a deep sense of regret. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. Mia smiled warmly. Thank you, Sophia. It means a lot. Daniel placed a hand on Sophia's shoulder. It's never too late to make things right. Let's work together to support more of these amazing initiatives. Sophia nodded slowly, feeling a sense of hope begin to blossom within her. She had let her insecurities and envy cloud her judgment, but witnessing Mia's genuine impact had opened her eyes to the importance of kindness and humility. As the night continued, the atmosphere in the ballroom had transformed. The initial tension and mockery had been replaced with heartfelt conversations and genuine admiration for Mia's work. Guests approached Mia with newfound respect, eager to learn more about her charitable efforts and how they could contribute. Sophia took a deep breath, feeling lighter than she had in years. She approached Mia once more, extending her hand in a gesture of sincere apology. Mia, I want to help. Let me be a part of the positive changes you're making. Mia accepted her hand, a genuine smile lighting up her face. I'd like that. Sophia, we can make a real difference together. As the gala drew to a close, Sophia felt a profound shift within herself. The revelation of Mia's true role had not only honored Mia but had also sparked a journey of personal growth and redemption for Sophia. It was a night of unexpected truths and newfound respect, marking the beginning of a brighter, more compassionate future for both women. The grand ballroom of the Luminary Hotel was quiet now, the last of the guests having left and the echoes of the evening's laughter fading into the night. Sophia Bennett stood alone near the center of the room, her mind swirling with thoughts and emotions. The words Paul Harper had spoken earlier kept replaying in her head, making her question the choices she had made. Mia was already packing up her things, preparing to leave after the successful gala. Seeing Sophia approach, Mia looked up, noticing the conflicted expression on her face. There was a moment of hesitation before Sophia took a deep breath and spoke. Mia, Sophia began, her voice shaky and filled with genuine remorse. I need to apologize. What I did tonight was wrong. I thought I could make myself feel better by putting you down, but I see now how hurtful it was. Mia paused, setting down her small bag and turning to face Sophia fully. She could see the sincerity in Sophia's eyes, the vulnerability that hadn't been there before. Thank you, Sophia, Mia replied softly. I appreciate your apology. Sophia took another deep breath, struggling to find the right words. I let my insecurities get the better of me. I was so focused on maintaining my image and feeling powerful that I forgot what truly matters. Seeing how you handled everything with grace made me realize how wrong I was." Mia stepped closer, her smile warm and understanding. "It's never too late to change, Sophia. We all have our struggles, and acknowledging them is the first step towards improvement." Sophia felt a weight lift off her shoulders, the guilt she had been carrying slowly dissipating. "I want to make things right. I want to support the same causes you do and help in any way I can. I realize now that true strength comes from kindness and compassion, not from making others feel small." Mia nodded, touched by Sophia's words. "That's a wonderful decision, Sophia. I'm glad you're willing to take this step." As they stood together in the empty ballroom, a sense of mutual respect and understanding began to form between them. The initial tension and animosity that had defined their relationship were slowly being replaced by a foundation of trust and collaboration. Sophia looked around the room one last time, reflecting on the events of the evening. "I have so much to learn, Mia, but I'm ready to start this journey." Mia reached out and placed a hand on Sophia's shoulder. "We'll figure it out together. Change doesn't happen overnight, but with determination and support, anything is possible." Sophia smiled, feeling a newfound sense of hope and purpose. "Thank you, Mia, for everything." As they walked out of the ballroom together, the first hints of dawn began to break on the horizon, casting a soft glow over the city. It was a new beginning for both of them, marked by honesty, understanding, and the promise of a brighter future. Outside, the cool morning air greeted them, carrying the sounds of the city waking up. They paused for a moment, taking in the beauty of the sunrise, symbolizing the fresh start that lay ahead. "Sophia," Mia said thoughtfully, "what's next for you?" Sophia looked at Mia, determination shining in her eyes. "I want to get involved in the charitable projects you've been supporting. Learn how I can make a positive impact instead of tearing others down." Mia smiled warmly. "That's a great place to start. I can introduce you to some of the teams and projects we're working on. Your skills and resources could really help." As they continued their walk, the bond between them strengthened. Sophia felt grateful for Mia's forgiveness and the opportunity to make amends. The path ahead wouldn't be easy, but with Mia's guidance and her own commitment to change, Sophia was ready to embrace a new chapter in her life. The morning sun shone brightly, illuminating the way forward. It was a day of reflection and redemption, where past mistakes paved the way for future growth. Sophia and Mia walked side by side, united by a shared goal of making the world a better place, one step at a time. In that moment, Sophia knew that she had taken the first crucial step towards becoming the person she truly wanted to be. And with Mia by her side, she felt confident that together, they could overcome any challenges that lay ahead. The weeks after the gala brought a wave of positive changes for both Sophia Bennett and Mia. The night's events had left a lasting impact, not just on them but on everyone who had witnessed the transformation. Sophia was determined to make amends and turn her life around. Inspired by Mia's unwavering kindness and strength, Sophia began by reaching out to Mia, eager to learn more about the charitable projects she supported. They met regularly to discuss how Sophia could contribute her time and resources to make a real difference. Together, they started organizing community events, fundraising drives, and volunteer programs aimed at helping those in need. One sunny Saturday morning, Sophia and Mia stood outside a local community center, setting up tables and decorations for a charity bake sale. Volunteers arrived, bringing homemade goods and smiles. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and a shared sense of purpose. "Thank you for coming, everyone," Mia greeted the crowd, her voice warm and inviting. "Today, we're here to support our local shelters and provide meals for those who need them most." Sophia watched as people mingled and contributed, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "It's amazing to see everyone come together like this," she said, handing out flyers to passers-by. As the bake sale got underway, Sophia found herself working alongside Mia, serving treats and engaging with the community. The initial awkwardness between them had dissolved, replaced by a genuine friendship built on mutual respect and shared goals. Later that week, Sophia's family announced a series of new charitable projects. Inspired by her collaboration with Mia, they pledged substantial donations to various causes, including education, healthcare, and homelessness. The Bennett family name, once associated with privilege and entitlement, was now linked to generosity and compassion. At a press conference held in the same grand ballroom where the gala had taken place, Sophia stood before reporters and community members. "We are committed to giving back to the community that has supported us for so many years," she announced. "These projects are just the beginning of our journey to make a positive impact and support those in need." Mia stood beside her, proud of the progress they had made together. "True success isn't measured by what we have, but by what we give to others," she added, echoing the powerful lesson Sophia had learned. The collaboration between Sophia and Mia continued to grow, with more projects and initiatives taking shape each month. They organized free workshops for underprivileged youth, provided scholarships for deserving students, and partnered with local businesses to create sustainable employment opportunities. One evening, as they wrapped up a successful charity event, Sophia turned to Mia with a grateful smile. "I can't thank you enough for everything you've taught me. I never realized how much joy and purpose giving back could bring." Mia returned the smile, her eyes shining with kindness. "We all have the power to make a difference, Sophia. I'm just glad we could work together to create something meaningful." Their efforts didn't go unnoticed. The community began to embrace the changes, and the once divided families found common ground through their shared commitment to helping others. The bonds between them strengthened, fostering a sense of unity and mutual support. As the months passed, the impact of their charitable work became evident. Lives were changed, dreams were realized, and the community thrived thanks to the dedication of Sophia and Mia. The transformation was not just external but also internal, as both women grew into more compassionate and selfless individuals. On the first anniversary of the gala, Sophia and Mia hosted a celebration to honor the achievements and milestones reached over the past year. The grand ballroom was once again filled with guests, but this time the atmosphere was different, joyful, hopeful, and filled with gratitude. "Sophia, look at all we've accomplished," Mia said, her voice filled with pride as she surveyed the room. "It's incredible to see how far we've come." Sophia nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment and peace. "We couldn't have done it without each other. This is just the beginning." As the evening drew to a close, Sophia took a moment to reflect on her journey. From a place of envy and insecurity, she had found redemption through kindness and collaboration. The path had not been easy, but the rewards were immeasurable. Under the soft glow of the chandeliers, Sophia and Mia stood together, watching as the community celebrated their collective success. The bonds they had formed were unbreakable, and the future looked brighter than ever. "This is what true success feels like," Sophia mused, her heart full of gratitude, knowing that we've made a difference in people's lives. Mia nodded in agreement. "And it's just the beginning. There's so much more we can do together." As the final guests left and the ballroom began to empty, Sophia felt a deep sense of contentment. The journey had been long and filled with challenges, but it had led her to a place of true fulfillment. With Mia by her side and a community united by compassion, Sophia knew that they were capable of achieving even greater things. The story of Sophia Bennett and Mia became a testament to the power of change, forgiveness, and the impact of giving back. It served as a powerful reminder that true success is not measured by wealth or status, but by the positive influence we have on the lives of others. And so, as the city's skyline shimmered under the night sky, Sophia and Mia looked forward to a future filled with hope, kindness, and endless possibilities. Their journey had just begun, and together, they were ready to embrace whatever lay ahead, confident in the knowledge that they were making the world a better place, one step at a time.
Is forgiveness the key to personal growth? What would you have done in Sophia's place? Share your thoughts in this story with others. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.